Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the most sensational, the most phenomenal, the most electrifying man in alternative media. Live, counting hundreds and fifties, while being entertained by big-ass titties, you're listening to the Bruce Montalvo Show.
What's up, baby?
And I got him right here in front of me right now!
Yeah. Enough with your wrestling. You know, what do you want, a freakazoid, like a woman wrestler to beat you up at night?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, live every night, 9 p.m. Eastern, you're listening to the excellence of radio execution and his bodacious babe, Bruce Montalvo.
You're your bodacious babe?
No, you're my bodacious babe.
Oh, but you didn't introduce me. You didn't say Jaja.
That's because you introduced yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, it is March 18th, 2016, and we're back in your face, ready to go, 199% in your face, aren't we?
Isn't it like St. Patty's Day or something?
Right, and they're filling rivers with like green beer. Last time I checked, they're filling our Hudson River here with green slime, courtesy of the Indian Point nuclear spill. I mean, what the fuck are we still doing here?
We're just finishing up whatever we need to do, Bruce, and
right.
Out of here
We can't leave because the Knights Templar, the freaking banking arm of the Queen, the twat waffles over at the IRS, gotta look at everybody's books, right? They got everybody mad at each other. That's what it is. Right?
Well, Bruce, I'm doing the taxes stuff. It's not.
Everybody hates.
Everybody can't stand this time of year. That's it, right? Okay, so that's it. You know, compared to other countries, where I feel like at least this is better than other countries because we have the ability to make money, and it's just one of the consequences. If you're making money, you have to itemize everything. That's just
at least we don't live in a fucking mud hut in like Mexico or something, right?
Yeah, or Brazil, where you kind of get stuck in the rut and you can't really get higher, or maybe in Europe where they have complete socialization of their money. Like the minute you get a little bit, they take a little bit more. I don't know. There's like weird tax things. I mean, it's starting to happen a little bit more here. I mean, but. There's good points and there's bad points. And then there's Indian Point, which is leaking green shit all over the place, folks. And we're the only show on air with the baseballs big enough to step up to the plate and tell you what's going on. Apparently I heard some remedial retarded caller called into the Bill Hicks show today, and actually kind of you caught that. You actually heard that the hot dog eating tip of the spear fat fuck Bill Hicks actually had someone call in, and he actually kind of went with it. Yeah, he's actually kind of telling the truth. Yeah, well, it's funny, Bruce, because I happened to pull an all-nighter doing work, and I was listening to him. I felt like they called in just purposely because they knew I was listening, because I hadn't been listening for a long time. And, like... Who can listen to those remedial fucktards? Because they're such NSA snitches, they know. The CIA Stratford They know bitches. Who's listening, so they knew I was tuned in, and they had, like, this shill caller... and I was really happy at least. But Bill Hicks was trying to say it was, the North Koreans, they're going to kill us, in some kind of a way, some nuclear bomb. Of course, they have nukes. And it's like, then the caller was like, no, it's really the nuclear power plant. That's leaking. It's leaking into the Hudson River. It's a slow kill, And finally, I was a little impressed that at least he let the shill speak a little bit, Look, you think that the creatures in the Gowanus River or Canal are bad enough now. They're going to be worse than in The Simpsons with that freaking fish with the 3 eyes, that Blinky guy. That's what everybody's going to have, glowing balls, and whenever you go to a restaurant to eat, it's going to be a freaking 3-eyed fish on your plate. Yeah, well, people will be pissing out the tritium. It will be leaving your body they're gonna get prostate cancer. Yeah. Through your sexual organs. So it's a slow death, a slow kill. And let me tell you something else. Where did they do this? They did this in Fukushima, right? Yeah. All right, well, the Japanese and the Nazis are infamous for biowarfare. Yeah. And this is known. This is fact, folks. The Nazis and the goddamn Japs are infamous for this shit. They did it in Fukushima. Now they're doing it here in the United States. This is bigger than Fukushima.
You want to know what's worse? Is that a lot of your food, if it's grown near a plant, and I heard that Dan and Yogurt they bought some land near Fukushima to actually raise some cows and raise their yogurt not in Fukushima, but within like 50 miles or 40 miles, 30 miles, something like near enough places because it was like cheap land. And now in New York, one has to be careful where you're getting your products, even if it says organic on it. If it's below the nuclear power plant, man, you're getting your food freaking nuked.
And here's another thing. Fukushima already made its way around the globe. How many times around the Earth's axis? How many grass-fed cows have eaten the Fukushima radiated grass?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, there's many different diseases that people can get from this. First, it can attack your thyroid, first and foremost. You should protect your thyroid. Good kelp is good. It should do the trick. Also, a lot of greens, the spirulinas and the chlorellas. I know that can help. And also, make sure you just take all your vitamins, all of them. A lot of Bs. But you could get a lot of things like lymphoma, cancers. There was a cancer cluster around this neighborhood of women getting breast cancer. You can get cancer, yes.
Dear God.
Yeah.
Dear God. We truly are the only ones on radio right now with the baseballs big enough. Well, on my side, you got baseballs on your chest. More like volleyballs, but really, we're the only ones with the balls. We're the only ones with the balls big enough to tackle on the New World Order. Air.
Why are you sexualizing me, Bruce?
Because I am the sexual icon now. That's right.
And now everything.
You can literally pour hot candle wax on my nipples and I won't make a sound.
Is it just that you're getting too much sex or you're not getting enough sex? I can't understand. I can't figure it out.
I could never get enough, folks. I'm like a 80s fucking metal song. Alright? Now.
There's not enough time in a day.
It's not enough time in a day, folks. Just like this show. Now, let's move forward here. I got a story in front of me. Anon, CIA, basically Ted Turner's boys, have leaked all sorts of sensitive information other than the actual size or photo of Donald Trump's penis on to the airwaves. So they're releasing a Social Security, they're releasing this, they're releasing that. I mean, anybody that believes in Anon is pretty much a stupid fuck. I mean, they're totally CIA. Okay, and it's basically Ted Turner going head-to-head with Trump. Ted Turner is worried about the Trumpster. What's going on? I mean, they're hacking him now. I mean, despite what Trump says, which is completely fascistic, I mean, I think the guy's entitled to his Fourth Amendment right. These pig fuckers had no right to release any of his sensitive information. That's just the libertarian in me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. You talking about Hulk? Are you talking about
I'm talking about the Trump.
Well, I'm thinking Hulk, too, because I know we were talking
We're not up to the Hulkster,
But it's
brother.
the same thing, though. The Fourth Amendment and the fact that these people are just... Listen, these guys are players. At the end of the day, the Hulks, the Trumps, they know they play their position. They know their Fourth Amendment has been lifted many years ago.
Well, first of all, the Hulkster actually got $115 million today for his Fourth Amendment being violated.
Yeah,
so I'm pretty sure he did it on purpose.
Care. They don't care.
And I'm pretty sure this whole Ted Turner versus Trump's Anon versus Trump is all just staged, a bunch of phony baloney malarkey too. Because Trump's part of the order. Trump's part of the secret societies. Trump did the initiation. He probably let all these rich guys pee on him out in the woods. And
masturbate while
exactly,
he was
all that
telling
good Bohemian Grove gay shit.
All of his past things that happened to him. Every time he had sex with anybody, they have to
I think that's Skull and Bones. I think they do that over at 322 over there.
I wouldn't be surprised if Trump was part of the Skull and Bones too. I mean, you got to be pretty high up. I mean, hello.
Yeah, you literally have to have 1 foot or both feet in with the Illuminati in order to be president. Because that's the highest puppeteer freaking post in all of government.
That's right. You have to be a good actor, though. I mean, these guys they're not... What people have to remember is that at the end of the day, even the Supreme Court justices don't have as much power of what the Pentagon is doing behind the closed doors. So what we're seeing is just the play. You don't see the script writers. They're not
just
the script
riling
writers.
up all the stupid sheeple. They got a little water bottle filled with freaking Indian Point nuclear power plant piss for everybody to drink now. They're leading them to the polls, and it's just predicted by the Baphomet himself that Clinton is gonna Trump.
Yeah, and I'll prove to you right now.
Clinton is gonna win.
And I'll prove to you right now that Clinton is a victim as well, because she lives 15 miles from that Indian plant. So there's people above her. Okay, so this woman is obviously just a spokeswoman, whatever the fuck you want to be called. But at the end of the day, she's just there getting money, getting dough with her speeches. You know why? Because she's
a demo crip.
She's a spokesperson. She's just a spokesperson for the American people. She is not a decision maker.
She doesn't speak for me.
She's not a policy maker. She's the spokesperson for the Pentagon and the CFR and the Trilateral Commission.
Right.
And these people, she is just their spokesperson.
She's also a spokesperson for Satan, because I'm looking here at her numbers. Satan.
Yeah.
Listen.
You're gonna make everybody love him.
Listen, damn it. She got, this is frightening here, folks, 66.6% on all the Democratic primaries. She trumped Bernie, who that bum pretty much better hope he still has a job selling EBT food stamps, because he ain't going nowhere, that socialist Marxist piece of shit.
I bet you know
Let me tell you this, it's eerie as fuck. Clinton beat Sanders in all these primaries in Florida, in Texas, and Ohio. She beat him by 66.6%. She's Satan.
What a cool number. Anyway, this is what I think, that Bernie Sanders is probably lying about the food. He probably makes money, like mad dough on the low.
Oh, yeah, he's been flipping food stamps in the corner store.
That guy probably is like invest in stocks or something on the low. You know, like maybe some silver and gold. I don't know. That guy, Bernie Sanders, he could tell you one thing, but it's not even the truth, okay? So
it's not even the truth that he's a Jew. He's a freaking German Lebensborn piece of snot.
Well,
that's what he is, just like the rest of them.
Born with a silver spoon in his mouth, and that's it. So I don't believe his gimmick. And anyway, at the end of the day, you know, the way he speaks is not presidential. And you need to have somebody that is a foreigner. I'm sorry, not a foreigner. That's a
what?
Shut up. Okay, that deals with our foreign policies, that can deal with foreigners, you know, and have a very eloquent, formal way of dealing with international
could you imagine Trump meeting with like the Iran freaking Khamenei? He'd probably slap the taste out of his mouth. I think that would be cool. I think we'd all want to see that.
And I'd love to see him against Vicente Fox. You know, that would be funny.
Oh, that'd be great. He'd clothesline the shit out of him.
That would be hysterical.
Have you seen that guy? He's a freaking retard.
Do him.
He can't go 3 seconds without saying cabron, fuck, cabron, fuck, cabron. You're a cabron, fuck.
Do a little imitation of what it would be like if Trump was talking to Vicente Fox about the wall.
Let me tell you something, Vicente. I'm going to build that wall. It's going to be a beautiful wall, and your Mexicans are going to pay for that wall. I'm not going to pay for that wall, cabron, motherfucker.
Pincha wall.
Let me tell you something. That guy Vicente Fox is nothing but a cock. That's what he is. Just like the rest of the freaking fake Mexicans out there. We got a puto of the week. You know who I've been going up against. That freaking puto, George Lopez.
Yeah. Whoa, that was like gigantic.
That guy has been writing butthurt reports and using butthurt cream all week, because I basically said, like an American me, I said, he's not Mexican, I say. He's not Mexican. Look at that fucker George Lopez trying to challenge my Mexicanity. That guy looks like a fucking Bangladeshi Paki cocksucker, if you ask me. That pinche masónico, puto, más puto que la chingada. Yo, I seen him getting kissed by like that fruit king, Anthony Joshua. That guy's like the biggest fruit. What, Enrique Iglesias planted a big smooch on him? I mean, you believe that guy? That guy, George freaking Homo Lopez, who was probably named Mamun, whatever his freaking name is. That guy thinks he's funny. He's not funny. All he does is play up the I'm Chicano. I'm a Chicano. Hey, ¿sabes qué? Hey, watcha. Watcha what? That you're a Bangladeshi ugly motherfucker? That's the puto of the week, folks. George Mamoon, Prime Minister of Pakistan, freaking Hussein Lopez. See that guy? That guy, he's not Mexican, Hey, let me tell you something else, George Lopez. You think you're funny? I'll kick your fucking monkey ass all over King Taco streets, you son of a bitch. I'll go over there, I'll order my fucking pastor fucking burrito, and I'll fucking shove it straight up your fucking candy ass.
Oh my God,
mamon.
You're gonna give him his fantasy, Bruce? I wouldn't do that. That's what he's loving it. He's getting turned on right now just listening to it. He was so on your face. He was sending like messages to Bruce.
Was that guy trolling me?
He was trolling Bruce so much that at the sentence money, sorry guys, but he was trolling Bruce so much that he made a do not disturb meme that he was eating tacos while whacking off to his face.
Dear God.
It was just obscene.
I like it better when you whack off to my face.
Okay, but listen, this guy, I knew straight off the bat. I'm like, that guy looks exactly like Chris Perez, this guy that...
You know, you and me kind of remind me of Jay and Silent Bob. We kind of give each other handies from time to time.
Oh, God, you're so gross. Oh, my God.
But anyway, folks...
I'm trying to talk about this really ugly motherfucker.
Yeah, Mamoun Hussein Lopez.
Okay,
go on.
So this nigga, I'd seen him, and I was like, I seen him in movies. I'm like, he's supposed to be funny. Like, I heard a couple of jokes, and I was like, oh, that's cute. You were like, my dad likes him. I was like, oh, shit. Like, this guy be making fun of Mexicans. Oh, he probably not even Mexican. Oh, and he is definitely gay. Look at him in this movie. He's loving to have those boys around him. I'm like, with that ugly-ass face, I can see he just, oh, man. I'm like, he's one of those.
And I showed you, he's always throwing out the Masonic OK Corral. I like it in the ass freaking OK sign.
Right.
And then he's throwing out the satanic horns. Pinche masónico, más puto que la chingada satánico. That's what he is.
And we figured out that the OK sign, we pretty much, we know it's Masonic, but we think it means the gay masonry, especially because like the O part is like an asshole. And it means that you part
well,
of
in sign language, if you put your index finger inside the OK and kind of wiggle it, that means asshole.
Right. So that's what they're doing, is like asshole kind of thing. And it's like, that's how they like it. Guys that speak with that OK Corral thing, it means they like it in their OK
Anyway,
Corral.
that freaking puto congratulated me after I found out that he was Mamoun Nazi Hussein Anton Berger freaking family member and shit. He actually said, nice, congrats, watcha, you're the only Chicano to figure me out.
Yeah, I said, that nigga is not Mexican, honey. I'm like, did you see?
That's right, you pulled an American me. You're like, he's not Mexican, I say.
Okay, I know his relatives. I'm like, and that other friend that I used to mess with, I'll be like, I look at him the same way. I'm like, you say you're Mexican, but how come you look Indian, motherfucker?
That's right, you Bangladeshi looking motherfucker. Look how ugly that motherfucker. George Lopez, the ugly motherfucker.
So I put their faces next to each other. You got Mamoun Hussein. I'm like, he looks. And
that's fitting. Mamoun Hussein.
What does that mean?
That means he's a pinche mamon. That's what it means. Go on.
I'm really good at facial, like figuring out what part of the world you might be from. I've blown people away because I'm a New Yorker and I'm around.
No, I've seen it on the subway. You just call people out on their freaking nationality. They're like, "Oh yes, that is where I'm from."
Yeah, I am from Afghanistan. Thank you. You know, like, yes, I'm from Yemen.
Yes, I eat goat eyeballs, my friend. Thank you very much.
Yeah, one guy even said he was from Tunisia, and I was right. You know, it was like,
I don't know how the fuck you figured that out.
I mean, you know, but besides the point, I'm looking at this guy's features. I'm like, there's very little Mexican in this guy. And I'm like, I could see a teeny little bit, like maybe there was some great grandmother somewhere, but
yeah, some India Maria, some Juana somewhere.
One maybe.
Yeah.
But the rest of his face is completely from Indian, but like more packy. So I'm like, that guy's like Bangladeshi packy, because Indians have more of a more beautiful structured face, you know, like square and soft.
No, but here's the thing. This guy says he's waiting for the tamale lady. This guy isn't waiting for no freaking tamale lady. This guy's not waiting for no freaking corn man. You know who he's waiting for? He's waiting for the fucking samosa lady, this Indian packy motherfucker.
The curry man.
That's right, the curry and goat eyeball eating freaking fake fucking Mexican George Lopez. That's what you are.
instead of the women belly dancers, he's looking for the YMCA belly dance. He got the Chippendale version. You know what I'm saying?
He's looking for the fucking village people. That's what he's looking for.
You know when Keanu Reeves was dressed up, like a woman, when he was doing that Asian lady, when he was the Bhutan in Tibet?
Right.
When he was like a woman, that's this guy's fans. He loves that kind
What was that movie called? Little Buddha?
Buddha, yeah.
So much Brotherhood of the Snake, satanic reptilian freaking symbolism in that. And he's probably laughing his ass off right now because I'm looking at his eyes. George Mamon Hussein Lopez eyes. And I do see that reptilian eye slit. I see it. He's a freaking Aztecian freaking demon lizard that went to go torture the good Mexican people with his terrible, unfunny fucking humor.
Another thing is unfunny, and he's so fucking ugly.
Yo, his new show...
He makes Mexicans, people associate ugly with Mexican.
Exactly, and his new show is about to show up in what, like 2 weeks? I say it gets canceled in 3. Any show with this guy, George Mamon Lopez, in it is just destined to be canceled.
He's not really that funny.
He's not funny at all.
I think he tries too hard. He doesn't have it in him. But, I mean, he tries, though.
I'll tell you what he's got in him. The only Mexican he's got in him is when he freaking stuffs a fucking jalapeno off his fucking sphincter.
That's right.
That's the only Mexican he's got in him. You hear me, Mamon Lopez?
That's
and
right.
You know what? I'm through giving you fucking press on the greatest radio show on the face of the planet, and that's the Bruce Montalvo Show. And you can listen every Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern on TalkStream Live. You can check us out on your iPad, your iTouch. Just go to Google, go to Spreaker.com and type in the Bruce Montalvo Show. Go to TalkStreamLive.com. Type in Bruce Montalvo. We're there. Follow us on Twitter. Go to exposednewsalternative.wordpress.com. Check out Jaja at her Twitter. Check me out at my Twitter at Bruce Montalvo.
And my Twitter is twitter.com/Jaja.
That's right. If you got any questions for the Bruce Montalvo Show, for Jaja, for myself, be sure to relay them via our Twitters at Bruce Montalvo, at Jaja.
Right. So, this thing with Trump, he's just there. I mean, he's an actor. He's part of the New World Order. He's just playing his position. It's just part of the game. It's business as usual. Whoever this new dude is that Arnold was behind. I was getting letters every day. What's his name? Cusick?
Kasich. Whatever. That guy. That
John
guy,
Cusack?
he's just part of the problem. He's just a stoolie for the Lehman Brothers. All of them are. They're all owned. They're all bought and sold. They're all fake conservatives. They're all demo cons. I don't buy into any of the bipartisan left, right,
rhetoric,
big government establishment bullshit. Trump is funny. I mean, if you got a talk show and you're not talking about Trump, then you're like, in the dust. You're really not, part of the it crowd, homie.
Yeah.
I mean, Trump is just like, it's like Trumpomania. It's like Hulk Hogan. It's just running wild all over the place. I mean,
that's perfect. It's a
gotta
perfect
mention
example.
the Trumpster.
Yeah, because he's so dynamic as a character. That just because you're a dynamic character doesn't make you a president.
And he's just
Same
playing
thing with Jesse Ventura.
He's just playing up that guy's a socialist freaking bum. This guy Trump is a genuine capitalist. Okay. He's
a good example, at least.
He's an intellectual. Okay, he's just playing up the fact that he's a dumbass.
Of course,
he really is.
Yeah, we've already established that.
That's the character that Vince gave him over at the WWE.
Yeah, they were all designed.
It was his prototype for his presidential campaign. He developed his character in the WWE.
Yep.
I mean, it's just completely directed towards the low information, idiotic voter.
Yep.
I mean, every single freaking GOP Republican up there on stage is just stark raving mad, wanting to go to war with ISIS. Why are you going to want to go to war with a fake entity that we created? I mean, all the raping of the Yazidis and the Iraqis, that's all government CIA sponsored.
Yeah, but we need a boogeyman, Bruce.
Exactly.
Always need a boogeyman. We always need the other president. But in the end, what's happening is that those people are covering up for the bigger agenda, which is they're attacking us.
And the CIA is taking over Libya with ISIS, with this Egyptian freaking deity, pretty much. That's what they called this. They just changed Al-Qaeda, folks. They changed the name because people were getting hip to the fact that the U.S. was arming these guys.
CIA-da.
Al-Qaeda, so they changed the name to something more esoteric.
Yeah.
Something that Madonna would sing about. Okay, ISIS. All right, so they're taking over Libya. It's basically a government-sponsored caliphate. There's genocide in Iraq and Syria. I mean, this slaughter, this rape. It's all sponsored by the freaking CIA. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's paid for, sponsored, designed. That's what it is. The Pentagon, the
Exactly.
5-pointed star in the middle of D.C. Okay,
that's why I don't really believe that Hillary's going to be running the joint like all the neocons and the alternative freaking hot dog spear chuckers say she is. Because
they give it too much power.
Today was the prime example of it. I'm looking at my news feed and I see that the NSA is pretty much now saying that they're going to go up against Clinton. To me, that's how they keep a gal like Clinton in check. They're like, hey, we know you got naked pictures of you eating out Uma Abedin, okay, after you guys went to go get ice cream.
Yeah, you left your phone on that day.
Okay, you left your phone on that day. We got you where we want you. You're going to do as we say. So, in reality, she's a slave.
Exactly.
She's a freaking slave.
All of them are. And Trump is just trying to make sure that he gets his... He can account for some of the money expenditures.
Well,
that he owes the IRS.
He's dealing with the twat waffles at the IRS, just like the rest of us, just like all us simple folk in America.
And his taxes are
right
a whole
now.
lot higher, so he's got to be able.
That's why he's running for president, folks. He's not trying to make America fascist again. Okay, all this comparisons,
trying to remove his taxes
all these comparisons to Ronald fucking Reagan. I mean, give me a break. Didn't he let the Taliban into the White House? Okay, Ronald Reagan, my ass. Didn't Ronald Reagan allow Saddam Hussein to get armed with ICBMs? Didn't Ronald Reagan aid the Khmer Rouge and Pol Pot? I mean, what's so fucking great about Ronald Reagan, you fucking idiots? You fucking morons! What is so great about that guy? He's dead anyway!
Yeah, well, they love to, revive history, reconstruct it later on. They like to erase and pretend that it never existed and remanifest a different ideal that was, in memory of, history gets changed and changed and changed. As soon as everybody dies from that period, we could change history again. They just, there's no witness testimonies to defer.
That's because the American people is disenfranchised with reality, and they've turned them into a bunch of jackasses. You're a bunch of sheeple, okay? We've been sounding the alarms, telling you that this nuclear bio-holocaust that the Nazis and the Japanese are known for has made its way to the shores here in New York, in Brooklyn. Okay, my balls better not start glowing green, folks. I'm serious. I mean, this is serious. They're hitting you from all sides. Okay, they're hitting your wallet every day, making sure that they get rich and you stay poor, that they win and you lose. Okay, they're hitting your health. Every trip you make to the grocery store can potentially end your life if you don't look at the ingredients. Okay, even a simple barbecue sauce can kill you.
It's incredible. And we do whatever we can, and you can call us paranoid or what, but...
I don't give a damn what they call us.
But I don't have a microwave. I stopped using them shits years ago.
Yeah, who the hell nukes food? What kind of a moron doesn't understand the concept that you're nuking your fucking food? You're nuking the nutrients out of your food. Okay?
Yeah, it's a certain kind of a process of heating, and the way it's heated, it does zap out a lot of its essential vitamins and minerals, that it changes its organic composition, the structure, innate structure. It's in its cellulose form where it can absorb into your body the way it needs to, and it actually ends up depleting because there's dehydrated. Your body will need to expend that much more water to reabsorb.
No, but the people won't listen. Okay, all it takes is some smooth as silk liar like Obama to tell them otherwise, and the dumb, dribbling, stupid American sheeple will believe anything.
And they'll scream at us and say that we're crazy, but I always just...
they'll defend George Lopez. They'll say that he's actually Mexican. Let me tell you something. Donald Trump, if you're listening to this program, please, if you're president, which you won't be, please let your first action be to deport all of George Lopez's fans. Please.
His fans.
Deport all of those freaking idiots.
Including your father.
Más pendejos que la chingada. Pinche bola de pendejos. And then just deport everybody that's a cerote, too.
Yeah,
I can't
too
stand
many
those.
people.
They're ugly.
It's amazing.
They really
as soon
are.
as somebody gets famous, they get like these worshippers that like, oh no, you can't diss my idol. It's like that's all they know. Don't they know that guys like George Lopez, he doesn't even make up, if he has a few funny jokes, he probably didn't even make them up himself. They probably were stolen from real Mexicans that they think are funny, they targeted, so they spy on. That's what the NSA does with their use of the Fourth Amendment. They use people that they think are great content creators. For example, like if you were...
Well, that's a part of it.
Yeah, if you were like just some average Joe...
It's part of the surveillance
Jose,
state.
if you were just some average Jose in like Cali, right? Speaking the English Chicano. So they would be cracking jokes and they would target those particular people that were mad funny. And they would turn their computers on, their phones on, and NSA would have the scripts on them and they would see the jokes.
They got the scripts on you, they got the scripts on me. It doesn't matter if you're funny, folks. They're going to listen to you.
And then they'll give it to somebody else to make.
They have determined that you, the Bruce Montalvo Show listener, the American people as a whole, that's where the fight is now. That is the enemy of the state. Okay, forget about how they whacked Antonin Scalia, all right? He was the enemy of the state for a little while. But you know who's the enemy of the state 24/7? You, the American people. And this really pains me. It really makes me question God's existence. Because when I see people like Kanye West and his fat elf cankly wife being just held in the public freaking consciousness 24/7, it really makes me doubt if you're really out there. I mean, if you really existed, what the fuck is your problem? Why don't you freaking strike these heathens down with lightning right now, God? Please, please, please. What the fuck is wrong with you letting Kim Kardashian and Kanye West exist? What is wrong with you?
So, I actually helped them out a little bit. Kim Kardashian was having some kind of benefit. I don't know maybe to what, but she was selling stuff on eBay. Her clothes that were too small for her or she didn't like or whatever. So I was just like helping progress along and I did
because she blew up like a freaking pig. Nothing probably fits her now.
No, some more maternity clothes, Bruce. But I bid on a few things for them. Probably, but who knows,
I think you bid too much. I mean, I think it's not really even worth $1.
But for them, whatever. If I could up it up a little bit, and they really are giving it to charity.
Let me tell you something, Bruce Montalvo. I'm gonna kill you when murder is legal.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I can't stand that guy.
That's what he's thinking right now.
That guy's existence makes me question God's existence. How could God exist if he allows people like Kanye West to roam this earth with as many trannies as he has?
Well, I was listening to Nori one night, and he had this pastor on. It was very weird. It was like a guy who was who was reading prophecies, and he was sort of smart about it. And he said there is a spiritual war right now going on Earth, and these people that are supposedly in the limelight, that are the most famous,
the reptilians,
are actually they're there to teach everybody a lesson of what not to be. Unfortunately, sorry, Kanye, you're being victimized. Whatever. You're being victimized by the gay fish, by the very nature of your own existence, okay? By you being so seduced by your own fame. Anybody that's so seduced by their own fame, it's going to eat them up. And they do things in the public, for the public's eye. So they become like an ethical, not a guide necessarily, but as an example.
So G/D uses these people as an example of what not to be?
No,
yes,
not to be, exactly.
How to not live your life like a complete and total jackass?
Yeah, pretty much so. I mean, you don't know, a lot of these people do suffer. I mean, we look at actors and actresses all the time.
Well, they all sold their soul to Rain Man.
You see them age so intensely. You know, I feel like they really do. You want to be famous. They give you the image that they, living this fast life, the high life. Meanwhile, they're doing cocaine. They're drinking every other night.
I don't drink high lives anymore.
They're killing their liver. They have coke up in their system, all right, and they are not taking care of the time that they need to sleep. They're working too hard. They're not doing what their body is really telling them. They're starving themselves. They're nutritionally deprived, depleted, and that's causing a lot of other things. One thing leads to another when you're nutritionally depleted. So they have a lot of health issues. That's why you see unnatural aging, and that's why there's so much plastic surgery and Botox in Hollywood. Because these people live a very fast, hard life. They don't chill. They don't know how to relax a little bit.
They're a bunch of heathens. Okay, Hollywood is basically like Sodom and Gomorrah.
They've been
and you know what?
Pushing that image.
You know what? This leads me to a biblical type prophecy here, folks. North Korea has been launching ballistic missiles into the sea. I believe the Japanese Sea. Now, I don't know, but could this be some type of strategic hit to try to upset the tectonic plates, maybe upset the San Andreas Fault, causing what I could only wish for in dreams is to see California, that freaking Satan's freaking playland, just sink right into the ocean? Will that happen, or is it just wishful thinking?
Well, the movie Elysium, I don't know how far off it is, so I just don't want to be in that part of the world when it happens, like maybe it's going to happen in New York, maybe they have intercontinental ballistic
Well, they got the new Madrid fault line.
Right. Well, they're saying...
Now it could trigger something.
Well, supposedly, why are they building all these nuclear power plants by fault lines? It's suspicious. It's almost just like they built it in order to target the people at the same... They're vulnerable. Whether, at any given point, our country could attack ourselves, for example. If the rich it was so rich, they're like, fuck everybody. Let's just get all our people out of there like they did in Nazi Germany. Let's get all of our people out of there. Everybody else is there can go fuck themselves and let them all rot to hell. And the whole world, they can just then say that North Korea sent off an intercontinental ballistic missile in order to, but it could be our own people. That's what's freaky, the thought. I'm not saying that they will do it. I'm not saying, but it is going on. I'm not saying that the nuclear power plant is done on purpose. That probably is a structural leak, and they just can't do anything about it. It's out of fucking control. That's the problem.
Seems awful fishy to me. Seems awful fishy to me. But here's the thing: getting on North Korea, folks. To me, I believe that going back, examples like Operation Ajax pretty much leave no question that North Korea is under the control of the CIA. Okay, if the CIA and the Chinese tell North Korea to jump, okay, Kim Jong clone or Kim Jong Dong, I don't even know if he's still around. It could be some type of clone. Who knows, folks? That's a conspiracy for you to chew on. But one thing is for certain is Kim Jong Dong is doing what the CIA tells him to do. Okay? That being said, you go back to Hollywood and this revelation of the method, this predictive programming. You remember G.I. Joe Retaliation at that Illuminati roundtable where they had all the superpowers, all the nuclear superpowers like Dr. Strangelove. They had India there, they had Russia there, they had Israel there. They also had North Korea there in the movie G.I. Joe Retaliation. And what type of technology were they flaunting to you folks? They were flaunting the rods of God. they were flaunting the rods of Thor. Actually, the satellite with the projectiles, the missiles, orbiting in space in the movie, which is real-life technology, folks. It was actually called Thor. So, then you have this guy that's supposed to resemble Kim Jong-un sitting there in a movie, basically letting you know that these are the superpowers that possess the rods of God-style space weaponry. Now, North Korea has been on the books as saying, on the record, saying that they would hit Austin, Texas, they would hit Manhattan, they said that recently, they said they would attack Los Angeles. Now, is the CIA just giving these guys lines and telling them to be the big bad guy? Okay?
Yeah, I don't even think that Kim Jong-un, we don't even know if he's for sure alive. We have no idea what's going on with this guy. They could have killed him 10 times over because he was killing half the people in his family. They could have cloned him for all we know. Okay, we don't know what the deal is with this guy.
But the North Koreans do possess a technology that is apocalyptic. I mean, I got an article right here in front of me. U.S. spy chief warns of space wars, North Korean nukes from outer space.
Okay, but you know, Bruce, we are making in Georgia, not our state, Georgia, but the country of Georgia, which was a part of the Republic of Russia, right? It was there. That's where the UN is creating all the dirty bombs, all the chemical weaponry is created in Georgia. Okay, Saakashvili, remember that guy? Right, that's where so they're all in cahoots, you know what I'm saying? So they'll blame North Korea, they'll have it.
Exactly, the New World Order would use North Korea as a patsy to try to set off some type of World War V. That's the thing, and how would they do it? I mean, North Korea is targeting our grid, okay? Literally, what's to say if they didn't drop a nuke in the atmosphere, and they would take out, with an EMP, a dirty bomb, take out the entire SCADA systems, the United States. I mean, we would go back to the freaking 1960s in a second.
Bruce, I don't think America would let that happen just to ourselves, just because it would make us look bad. And we're very much about American exceptionalism and making ourselves look good. So I think a certain part of that is to keep our own people in check and in fear. And in fact, we are being attacked. You know, the water with Michigan, Flint, all the water.
Right, in Los Angeles, you got the methane leaks. But here's the thing that makes North Korea a true juggernaut, a true game changer, folks. They're not just some little hermit fucking island. Okay, North Korea, if you go back to the Super Bowl back in February, folks, North Korea actually flew a satellite over the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 50. A North Korean freaking satellite flew right over San Francisco, and I just got done telling the people right now about this directed freaking energy weapons, these satellites, these projectiles from space that North Korea is part of the Big Boys Club. They're part of the Doctor Strange Love Club. They let them in the back room. Okay, what's not to say? That was like a kind of posturing, like, hey, look at us. We flew a freaking deadly satellite right over America's favorite sport, right over America's game. I mean, you know, football is only second to freaking God in the United States. And the North Koreans flew a deadly satellite over the freaking Super Bowl? Are you kidding me? The CIA's out of control letting these guys posture on like this. This is a true boogeyman.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen the way you think, because in the end, war has to benefit. And North Korea has shit. Just like we went into Iraq.
Absolutely.
Okay, it had to have some...
The South Koreans have better technology than the stinky, stupid North Koreans. Right. That's why we deal with them more. The South Koreans are light years ahead in robotic technology.
Okay, yes. And they use North Korea as a propaganda machine. What they do is that it's a guinea pig society. It's one of these New World Order, UN-controlled paradigms. It's like a prison society. It's a country. It's a prison country. So it's like they study how to enslave people, what people become like under tyranny, how to control people that are getting out of control. You understand? It's all done by design. That particular place. North Korea is an experiment by the New World Order. So it's not the mastermind of Kim Jong-un. In fact,
it's the Pentagon, like you said. I have an article right here in front of me. Space warfare with Russia and China. Pentagon urged to step in. I mean, the Pentagon is the one that is setting up all these pawns on their grand chessboard.
Exactly.
That's what they are, but it's just frightening to me that you have Russia and China possessing these outer space laser weapons now. I mean, this is all out of Reagan's Star Wars.
Yes, also, I agree. It's all a lot of it, they do have the Tesla.
This is Jesuit technology.
They have Tesla technology, and they know how to use, what was it called, the death ray? I think that's what it was originally called. It's supposed to use to prevent any particular negative attack. There might be some alternate universe that's keeping some of this stuff in check, Bruce. But at the same time, because nobody wants to be obliterated really fast and out of the way. So that concept is just not really there. That's why they would like to make money on like the medical industry and release shit into the water, and own then the water industry, be able to profiteer of new fresh water. But I happened to catch this crazy movie last night. It was really bad. I don't really recommend it, okay? But I just happened to be, just needed something while I was doing the teating of taxes. Yes, I'm a good American, and I do my taxes, okay? But
you hear that, you twat waffles at the IRS?
We do them. But I was watching this movie called The Saint, right? And it was crazy because it was all about these scientists, these Russians, looking to steal the formula for cold fusion.
Jim Morrison's in it, right? Val Kilmer?
Yeah.
Anyway, they're trying to steal the formula for cold fusion.
For cold fusion. Now, this is really deep. So, the movie was 1997. That's right before 9/11, okay? It's a few years right before it was released. Now, from what our findings were, is that the Twin Towers were taken out by cold fusion technology. I mean,
many
nukes. These things are way more efficient. They're chemical bombs. Cold fusion is a chemical process.
Well, that's what North Korea is patenting right now as we speak. Many nukes.
Listen, but I'm telling you, they're being made in Georgia. It's a UN design. They design all that chemical weaponry. If you were a mafiosa drug dealer, right, and you wanted to take out a freaking cartel in Cancun, you would spend like $5 million. You'd have your little connect, your mafia connect, to whatever it is in Russia and Georgia. You'd get your little canister. They come in little. I've seen them. I've seen the pictures of them. All right.
Right.
That canisters with Russian on it.
That, and I'd have a bunch of monkeys in the Cayman Islands counting all of El Gran Montalvo's money.
That's right.
But anyway, go ahead.
And then you would take out your El Chapos. All right. You would take. It's just a little canister. All it needs to do is be put by a boiler. You can make it into It could be a disease that they release, or it could be a chemical weapon, or of cold fusion, like what they did in the Twin Towers. They used these canisters, they put them in the boiler rooms, both of them, and they went boom. That's why the boiler rooms were the first places where you heard the bombs go off.
And those are a lot of the explosions that were captured by NIST. NIST didn't capture anything. They went around grabbing up all the evidence so that it wouldn't leak out.
Right.
All the booms and whatnot.
Exactly. And there's a lot of shilling with 9/11. I mean, they come out with theories that they were holograms even. I mean...
Yeah, but the new 9/11 is happening once again here in New York, and it's Indian Point.
It's Indian Point.
Okay? Forget about St. Patty's Day, folks. You're going to get green for the rest of your freaking life. Okay? Your pinches huevos are going to be glowing green like St. Patty's Day for the rest of the freaking year, if not for the rest of your damn life. If you live here in the tri-state area, I don't even know what the hell I'm still doing here in New York. I love the pizza, folks. I'm not leaving as of right now. I mean, we got the IRS twat waffles we're dealing with. I got the pizza that I still haven't eaten, the best pizza so far. Well, Patsy's is the best. I love that.
So my pizza's the best.
Yes, of course, without a doubt.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter.
Patsy's is second, folks.
We're just testing all the different pizzas in New York. I think that'd be like a really cool thing to do if you were like trying to come to New York for the first time. Be like, check out all the pizza spots, like the hot, good pizza. You look it up, like where to get the best pizza. I think that would be a fun little tour.
So, why do the North Koreans hate Manhattan so much if we have the best pizza? Why are they bullshit? Why do they want to fuck with us?
Because we don't put Swiss cheese on a motherfucking pizza.
Kim Jong-un loves that shit.
He loves that shit.
He gained like 900 pounds eating that shit, right?
That, like, gave him gout and all kinds of health issues. She sucks.
No, but the North Koreans, they're acting just like those damn Chinese Nazis. Okay? And the president of the Philippines, I remember on this program I actually referred to this story. The president of the Philippines actually slammed Beijing for acting like Nazis. So you got the big Nazi, which is China, and then you got the stupid little Nazi, which is North Korea. I don't think North Korea does anything unless the Chinese tell them to do it. Now,
I agree.
Speaking of this, just this hoaxery, folks, with North Korea, what do you make of this student? They got busted for stealing a poster. Now they gave him freaking 15 years of hard labor in North Korea just because he stole an image of Kim Jong-il.
Lies.
That cockroach, Kim Jong-il.
That guy's an actor and a bad actor.
Oh, bad actor. Bad actor.
He couldn't make it as a Hollywood actor or even or actor for commercials.
It was pathetic
they made him a
seeing
crisis
this guy.
Actor.
It was pathetic seeing this guy on Fox News pretend to cry like.
He wouldn't have even made a Law and Order. He wouldn't have even made it as good as a Law and Order actor. He wouldn't have even been believable.
I got the story right here.
After the shock
we'll hear him cry right now.
To 15 years
Again, this is a whole psyop. North Korean sentenced U.S. student to prison for subversion. What? Because he stole a fucking Kim Jong-il cockroach poster.
That's a propaganda.
Listen to him.
I beg that you see how I am only human. I have made the worst mistake of my life.
Warmbier was arrested in early January.
Okay, this guy's name is so fake. Otto Warmbier. How did his beer get so warm? Oh yeah, maybe because your beer, you let your beer turn warm, you get 15 years in jail. Seriously, I don't let my beer get warm. Otto Warmbier.
I know what it is.
That is the fakest name I've ever fucking heard.
Listen, I got it. This nigga likes hot beer enemas up his ass. That's what he gets it really good.
Woo!
Yeah, and that's what he works as an international foreign agent, right, for the UN, and he's there just fucking it all up, like looking like a prick for everybody. You know
this is the biggest hoax, the biggest psyop. Just crisis actors gone international now, working for the CIA in North Korea, folks. You believe that guy? But it's the worst mistake I ever made in my life.
It was so fake. It was so. I couldn't even see him on Law and Order. He was so bad he wouldn't even make it as a moderate, mediocre actor as an extra.
Terrible.
So bad. I mean, just terrible. He couldn't even. Forget it. That's what we're faced with, and this is the media that challenges our own intelligence. They present to us complete stupidity and bad acting. Some people have emotions and know what it's like for reality to hit us in the face. Okay, I don't live my life watching reality TV. Even that is more real than
even though you were part of it for a little while, like 20 seconds on VH1?
Yeah,
you sexy thing.
Yeah, they tried to get me sucked into their reality.
I actually saw you on TV before I ever even met you. That was love at first sight.
Yes, it was.
At the homie's house, drinking a High Life. And here she was on television. Your wife's on television. You see, that's how cruel God is. Okay, he flaunts my wife in front of my face before I even know she's ever going to even be in my life. Yet he allows Kim Kardashian and Kanye West to continue to live and breathe as we speak.
Yeah, but
I understand. He works in mysterious ways.
The truth is, I've been on TV a few times, but you put me on the White Rapper show. I did not want to be on that show. That was like, they begged me to be on that show. It was really creepy. I'm not interested in gimmicks, number one. I thought that I was insulted, number two. I'm from Brooklyn. All my friends were black and Latino, okay?
Right, they were like trying to make fun of you.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck off. I don't even see color. I never fucking even look at people's color like that. So I'm like, oh, now I gotta be around a fucking bunch of turds. You know what I'm saying?
Freaking wiggers.
Weirdos and shit. So I was like, oh no. And then when I went to they begged me. You know, I had people take me out to dinner to be on the show. I had mad like old hardcore people coming to me. Everybody was coming to me. I kept shutting them. I was like, leave me the fuck alone, man. Leave me alone. That's just tacky, you know. So I was like, all right, look, I figured it out because I had a management at the time. Whatever. It was nice, but he didn't really do hip hop. But I was like, dude, what the fuck do I do? It's like, and I figured it out because you can't really pass it up. Although they own you for 6 years, so if you win, so there was no way I was gonna do that to myself. Is to sign my soul over for $200,000, which is nothing, you know. It's really nothing because then they could actually shut you down. They own your name. You can't do anything with it if they don't want you. Suppose you want to make music for 6 years, and they won't let you release it, even under your name.
But that's the thing. You know exactly what reality TV is. You know exactly what fake is. I was in LA a couple of times, and I caught the freaking Mexican Jerry Springer show. I know how they stage shit. I know how they fake shit all the time. You're getting the same thing, America. This is a dog and pony act. All you idiots that are just glued to freaking Fox Hoax News with that dyke haircutted freaking Megyn Kelly just waiting to see her talk shit about fucking Donald Trump. I mean, you're all a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
You're all a bunch of no-life, pathetic morons.
They're all
that have been sucked in by this reality TV GOP. All right, if you really want a good candidate, go vote for Gary Johnson, mate.
I don't think so. I know you love him.
Vote for freaking Vince McMahon's cousin, please.
Yeah,
please. He's got a great record.
Nah, you know what? I can't vote for anybody who's saying the word pussy. I don't care, not like that.
Donald Trump's a fucking pussy.
It was cool. He's a cool guy, and I like the concepts of Libertarian Party 100%. But these people are not in any position to run the country. They have no experience, and that's why we know for a fact that. Anyway, I don't really like, pounding the dead horse because it's so stupid to constantly always focus on these actors. It's like talking about soap operas for me right now because I already know the outcome. The outcome is Hillary. Let's keep next page. Please, let's get to a different topic.
Yeah, please, let's see. Let's figure out if we could bring some type of lawsuit to throw her and the rest of the bums responsible for the atrocities in Libya, because that's why Libya is a failed state today, folks.
I'm not taking down this country for that fucking Libya. I would never sue our government because of what they did in Libya.
Let me tell you something.
Fuck Libya.
They're a bunch of crooks.
Fuck Libya. Good. Let them beat the shit out of Libya.
They're a bunch of fucking crooks.
Good.
Okay? And they're allowing ISIS to run wild like Hulk Hogan out there in a sex tape. Okay, they're raping all sorts of young Yazidi freaking girls, alright? They're trafficking them for all these big wigs.
For the judges, for our judges, okay? I'm sure that the judges in our country are using that sex ring, okay? Because in my lawsuit, I'm not even going to talk about it. But we went to the courts. There's Nazi swastikas everywhere. Everybody's motherfucking Mason. Everybody's getting sex.
The owl of Athena is all over the place, folks. It's on that Thurgood Marshall building all over the place. And they're going to stamp that motherfucker on the Federal Reserve because it's on your money. If you look at the very edge of the $1 bill, all right, take out a microscope, okay, the same thing that Donald Trump's wife uses to find Donald Trump's penis. Go to that freaking dollar. Go to that dollar, and you're going to find that goddamn little owl of Athena that runs your life. As we speak right now, you have to account for every single one of those devalued fiat dollars. Otherwise, the IRS is going to stick a red, white, and blue dildo straight up your ass. Woo!
Okay, but Bruce, you know how, isn't it better than Europe? Before you even get your check, they're already slicing into it, and you're already making sure that you don't get high.
You wanted to talk about that. You wanted to talk about what makes America better than other places, and me being the consummate America lover, because I love everything America. I oblige. I'm gladly to oblige. We're going to talk about the pros and cons going into the second hour of the Bruce Montalvo Show. Now, the pros and cons of living in America.
Yeah, I mean, the fact is that we are still a free speech country, capitalist. Nobody's keeping us here saying, that you have to stay in nuclear land.
Right,
We're not in North Korea.
You can either be a maker or you could be a taker, just like all the Black Lives Matter and Bernie Sanders supporters.
Yeah, or you.
The decision ultimately falls on your shoulders, whether you kick ass and make money in this country, or you just suck off the government's tit.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with the government help a little bit, because it's very hard to be able to figure out.
Or certain people in certain factions of this world, of this American world, they need help.
Yeah.
Okay, the poorest, I'm not saying, look, if we got enough money to make multi-billion-dollar embassies in Afghanistan, we should have enough money to feed the poorest members of our society.
Yeah, so it shows that we have wealth enough to be able to do that, and we should feel proud that we're able to do that for people.
Right.
You know?
But, here's the thing. When you go to the woods, okay, they tell you they got a big fucking sign in the woods that says, hey, don't feed the bears. Now, why do they put that sign up there, folks? I'm thinking it's because they don't want the bears to stop being self-sufficient. Because then the bear is going to come around because he knows you have a sandwich, and he's going to come to eat your sandwich. It might possibly even kill you for your sandwich, right? That could very well happen here in this America. Because, let's face it, can you really eat the Constitution? Can you eat it? Does it feed you? It feeds your intellect and your thirst for liberty. But in the end, the people will eat each other.
No, it won't.
Give 4 days of not having any food, folks, and the American people will eat each other. I can guarantee you.
All right, if that ever happens, where your things are shutting down.
That ever happens, I'm gonna have so much fucking ammunition. I'm gonna have more ammunition than Terminator 2, folks.
I think
try to fuck with me.
I think that's very Hollywood. You see, this is where your California, very West Coast. It's kind of like grand spectacle doom and gloom to me, and I guess being from New York, I'm a little bit more grounded that way, and I don't really see apocalypse. I'm Jewish, so I don't really come with that shit. I see it as very Hollywood, and it's great for script writing and movies, but it's not going to happen like that here. Though it might happen in other places at other times.
It could very well happen if they allow the bad boys in North Korea to blow up a freaking dirty bomb over the EMP, all right, and you can't go and get your money out of the ATM, and you can't use your little credit card to buy freaking a bag of freaking bagels. The people will eat each other, so you better have your freaking storable water and your food.
Well, you're not selling that, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, if they do shut it down, if they shut down the nuclear power plant, that could happen in 2 days. Because nobody would have electricity, and nobody. That's what I'm saying. It's a catch-22. So what people are trying to do, if they're trying to shut down the nuclear power plants, then they're going to have really no electricity, no food, no water.
But here's the thing: you still have a better shot at surviving that here in America, which is the pros and the cons of living here, than in any other place in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, despite the New World Order's grip throughout the world, I think that the American people still have a great shot at surviving, and eventually government would restructure itself. I'm not all for anarchy, folks. You do need a small, limited government, I believe, to just handle the madness.
Right, but
keep the wolves at bay.
Just talking about international business. So if I'm getting packages in from Europe, I don't really get the people. Our customs doesn't come knocking on our doors. We have it very nice here. In England, they go there and they collect their taxes, their customs from the average everybody. It's terrible. Their customs are high. When I lived in Brazil, if you want anything coming into that country, if it's put down that it's worth $1,000, guess what Brazil will do? They will come to you for $2,000 for you to get your fucking package that costs $1,000.
Wow. Well, I hear you say England. England technically is still collecting taxes off the American people, folks. There was no 1776.
I have to see the paperwork with that. We absorb a lot of money, and believe me, there's a lot of Brits that are here. So who knows what's going where. I don't know. Maybe this is just part of England. Maybe we're just still part of them. And that's just part of what it is. So it's not really going to their little country over there, their little island. You know what I'm saying? Their people are here too, the British. So.
Right. Well,
I don't know. We're part of that's like I was trying to explain. There's the main crown over there in England, and then you have New Zealand, Australia, all the subsidiaries, America,
even
and Canada.
Even Canada's
right. So
even those flapping head, freaking idiot garbage can mouths over in Canada are run by the Queen.
Right.
So apparently they got good hemp and a good health industry over there, and a hell of a good moonshine. But other than that, I mean, they just slap each other all day with Canadian bacon.
It really seems so dreadfully boring.
Like a bunch of freaking retards.
And so that's the thing about America. There's this like all the images of that Kanye and Kim and all of them they give out, of like the good life and let me just explain this because it is an ideal that gives a lot of people the will or the drive to try to do better. So at the same time, you think their images are so bad, but with that bad, there's got to be good stuff too. So,
well, unfortunately, these idiotic freaking stars or what have you are the only thing America is exporting as goods nowadays because we've become a nation of takers instead of makers. We're not making shit anymore. All we're making is shitty freaking pop stars and making idiots that shouldn't be famous for no reason, like Kim Kardashian. Now, folks.
Or Anna Nicole Simpson, remember her?
Who's dead? Yeah.
But I mean, like,
who's that? Now, folks, it's that time. It's the time for Bruce's top 10 list from my former offices in Butte, Montana. Now relocated in Lake Titicaca. Now, this top 10 list is completely original. I did not steal it. I did not steal it from David Letterman. And folks, top 10 list number 10. NYC vegans. They're selling Donald Trump getting punched in the face donuts. You believe that? What do you think of that? NYC vegans selling Donald Trump getting punched in the face donuts. You want one of those?
No.
No? Too fattening?
I don't eat donuts.
No, she don't eat donuts, folks. She's got a killer bod. Alright, literally. I mean, you think you could melt
donuts.
Hot candle wax on my nipples? Oh, man. You could... wow. Dear God. Alright.
I'm going to kick this shit out of you later.
Now,
shut up.
Top 10 list number 9.
Pig.
Far right... Hey, fuck you, buddy. Far right terrorist Breivik gives Nazi salute in court. Complains prison violates human rights. So you got this Nazi that apparently, this Masonic Nazi, who apparently gunned down in cold blood and explosions 77 people. And he's complaining he's not comfortable enough in jail while giving the Nazi Sieg Heil. What do you think of that? I think they should give that pig fucker the chair. What are they waiting for? Give this guy the fucking chair. Put it on pay-per-view. Attach the electrodes to his fucking nuts. And charge money to see them fry. Okay? I'm all for capital punishment, folks. Assholes like this should be made an example of. This cocksucker, Andris Breivik. I don't even know why the fuck he's still around, folks. Now, top 10 list. Number 8. We got a whole bunch of quotes of Barack Hussein Obama, the dictator-in-chief, emphasis on dick, sounding like he belongs in the WWF. I mean, literally, listen to these quotes from the dictator, Barry Obama. He says, "They bring a knife, we bring a gun." That's 1. 2, I want you to argue with them and get in their face. I don't want to quell anger. I think people are right to be angry. I'm angry. What a freaking community organizing communist this guy is. Okay? Now, he says this, hit back twice as hard. He says, we talk to these folks so I know whose ass to kick. Who does he think he is? Dwayne Johnson? Didn't I say last week that Barack Obama thinks he's Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Seriously, listen to these lines. Republican victory would mean hand-to-hand combat. Barack, you're a pussy. You're a pussy, Barack Obama. You can't go fishing without wearing gloves because you're afraid to hold the fish by the gills with your hands because you're a pansy ass. Alright? Whose ass are you going to kick hand-to-hand combat, Barry? You look like a freaking girl playing soccer. I've seen you play basketball. You look like a bitch. Alright? Straight bitch. Punish your enemies. Another one of his lines. Punish your enemies. That he does well. That Barry Obama does very well. Just look at what he did to Libya. Look what they didn't do to Muammar Gaddafi. Where is that guy? He probably faked his death. I don't know. But the stand-in, didn't they put a freaking plunger up that guy's ass? Now, the last line. I'm itching for a fight. Now, does this guy sound like he's for a religion of peace? This guy sounds like the meanest, nastiest, community communist I have ever heard in my life.
Yeah. Well, this guy is communitarianism, right? Isn't that what he's kind of pushing?
Right.
It's like that's the new buzzword. Nobody said that he was the most brilliant man. I mean, these people are just freaking puppets. They're just people. I mean, they're not anybody to worship, and they're not anybody to really pay that much attention to. I think what people need to keep in check are their own personal civil liberties and stop worrying about the Kim Kardashians and the Barack Obamas. And they need to just focus on their own success and their own what they can get done on the planet.
But he sounds like one nasty Muslim Brotherhood Jesuit infiltrator.
They all are.
He sounds nasty.
He's horrible. They're all horrible.
Now let's go to top 10 list number 7. Trump street performer lets you punch him in the face for $5. You can pee on him for $300.
Wow.
Okay, he says, if you've ever wanted to beat up Donald J. Trump, here's your chance. And he stands outside of the Trump Towers, letting people punch him in the face and pee on him.
When did that come out?
It came out earlier today, but here's the thing.
It sounds like
Here's
Tyrone.
the thing. Do you think Trump, I mean, this doesn't sound too far from what Trump actually does. I mean, he probably did let a couple of guys pee on him at one point.
Listen, it's just exactly what I was telling you about your boy Tyrell, who was walking around saying, I want to fuck your wife, and was getting punched out. I said, this guy's doing it for, he must be getting paid a lot of money, so Trump just probably took that as a little talking point and made a little stunt happen for himself. So that's a publicity stunt. And that guy's willing to do it. He loves abuse. He's a masochist. I don't know what Trump does with his personal time. It's his business. He probably doesn't have personal time. Probably just so happy when he hits the pillow. He'd be like, oh, I'm so happy I got my pillow in my hand. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Tell my pillow. My pillow.
We're going to go find that guy.
My pillow.
My pillow, yeah, that's right. Don Imus, that's right. I'm gonna go up to this guy and to front of the Trump Tower. This is Don Imus again. And instead of punching him, I'm gonna slap him with my pillow. I'm gonna do it for free. No, really, we should find this guy that lets you punch him in the face for $5. I mean, I'm not about to pee on him.
Oh God,
but,
no.
We should find him and get me punching him in the face for $5 on camera on YouTube.
No, you don't want to be in jail for manslaughter.
Manslaughter? Apparently guys are knocking the shit out of this guy's face for $5. I want to be the guy that knocks his teeth out.
Bruce, you're sick.
That's right.
You take out your aggressions. You need to take out your aggressions.
Don't get all German and Cobra Commandress with me. Now, top 10 list. No, plenty. Top 10 list. Number 6. Today, top 10 list number 6. Today is the day that they burned that Mason, Jack Demolay, at the stake. I say we raise a toast to what they should be doing more of today, which is burning these Masonic bastards at the stake.
Right.
Seriously. So that happened today. That happened today back in March 18th, 1314, Templar Demolay. All of these guys, man, they basically became the IRS. Templar Demolay was burned at the stake because they accused these guys of being a bunch of fruits and practicing witchcraft that they learned from the Arabic sages.
I thought Demolay was the secret society of orphans of the Skull.
It's named after this guy that burned today. They named it after this.
So how long is the
famous
Demolay
Mason.
Masonic secret society faction?
Goes back to before the 1300s.
Oh, okay.
It
goes
back.
Bill Cooper was part of the Demolay, wasn't he?
Right. That guy that got shot in the head, that maniac.
What a maniac.
That only provocateurs quote, folks.
Guys like them, guys like Bill Cooper are what makes truthers or people that are real patriots like us, like Bruce and I, look like kooks. I mean, they basically runs out with guns shooting cops and gets killed.
Look, this guy, Bill Pooper, okay, if a kid was skateboarding on the side of the sidewalk smoking a joint, he'd go out there with like a 357 Magnum ready to pump 2 holes in this kid's chest. So he's a complete, total raving lunatic. Lunatic. I mean, the type of lunatic that'll tell you that the driver turned around and popped JFK when it clearly could have been the guy in the storm drain, okay, or even Jackie O herself working for the Vatican assassins, folks. Now,
and his brother's a cross-dresser.
Top 10 list, right? That's a little inside joke, folks. Top 10 list, number 5. 3.7 million Syrian children have lived their whole lives under war. Now here's the thing that gets me about these neocons. They rave and they rant about how they hate these influx of Syrians, right? Meanwhile, it's their tax dollars that are creating a perpetual state of war that has kept 3.7 million Syrian children in a state of poverty for most of their lives. It is the American war dollars that have created all these quagmires in the Middle East. Yet you have your Walmart shopping fat fucks saying that it's all the Syrian people's fault, when the New World Order is merely using them as pawns of economic destabilization.
True.
What else could you say to that?
What else could I say to that?
Now we're on to top 10 list number 4. German jihadist warns ISIS is planning Europe-wide terror attacks. Now, basically, I'll read you what the article is really saying. German CIA insider warns CIA is planning wide-scale Gladio attacks upon the unsuspecting idiotic morons in Europe. That's how that reads to me. Over the twat waffles over at Anon, folks. Now, top 10 list.
Yeah, I think that
4.
the whole thing you were talking about before with Anon and Trump, you know, the fact is that mask that everybody was wearing,
Ted Turner owns
that was
it.
Ted Turner's face.
Ted Turner gets money. We didn't mention that. It's very good you mentioned that.
Yeah.
You see, Ted Turner's face is basically that Anon mask.
Yeah, that's what I
and
wanted to tell you.
anytime one of these stupid fucking truthers put that mask on,
they're putting on Ted Turner's face.
Ted Turner's getting a derivative from that.
Not only getting derivative, you're pushing his family features. You understand? You see, the Anon is a Fanstangel derivative. You
Aren't there a bunch of gay criers in that bloodline?
Gay criers in that bloodline also. It's like Teddy Turner's Jr.,
yeah, they put them in alternative media. They put them in alternative media. Ted Turner is the reason Bill Hicks is even still around, folks. That's the reason he's got $87 million. That's not his money. That's Daddy Turner's money.
Right, so therefore, Ted Turner, the whole beef, that's what I was trying to get at before, the whole Ted Turner and the Trump thing is meaningless because it's one big happy party that you weren't invited to. Okay?
That's right.
The Nazi party. You were not invited to that
Speaking of parties, I'm known to rock and roll all night, folks. And we're on to top 10 list number 4. Gene Simmons. Now you're going to love this. Gene Simmons skewers pop charts, looking forward to the death of rap. So you got that asshole Gene Simmons who would package and sell his very own shit, and people would buy it as Kiss Duke.
I can't believe he's
on freaking QVC or whatever the fuck.
Listen,
this guy is looking forward to the death of rap.
Let me tell you,
he's looking forward for you not to be able to sing.
Let me tell you, he's fucking right. You know why? Because if you look at niggas like Macklemore and what they're doing, and what's her name, Iggy, whatever the fuck, whatever, weirdos and shit, like they can't even fucking
You might not have to worry about her anymore because she's contemplating suicide.
Alright, whatever, I don't keep up on these fucking turds, alright? These are low-life, non-existent, non-creative entities. But real artists like Eminem, you know, I'm going to give you the props, right? Even though we do got a little dialogue going back and forth with our work, Marshall. But at the same time, you know, he's still a real artist. He exemplifies his own artistic vision of how he expresses himself. You know, he's got his own input and he's funny as fuck, you know. And but I think real artists that work hard at their craft, you know, should really kick the shit out of this guy, you know, Gene Simmons. But Gene Simmons is right at the other point, you know, me being the legal-minded person that I am. The fact is that you got fucking homemade, man-made nobodies like Macklemore's coming out of nowhere, but his father from Dexy's Midnight Runners, guy with the biggest Adam's apple, ugliest fucking looking white boy rapper ever, okay? And he has the nerve to, like, get fame, you know what I'm saying? But his great-grandfather was Mackelson, right? And they got like Nazi blood and skull and bones with a big fur hat, and then he plays it up and he puts a big fur hat. So
just Google it up. Google up what she's saying. Put the pictures side by side, celebrity pop style, folks.
That's how they end. Why does a guy like Macklemore get famous and somebody like me, who's a real artist, been struggling from the streets from real Brooklyn, where real underground rappers and famous guys are? No, I'm not a fame whore, but I'm just saying, like, I have my street creds, you understand? I've been around the world, been around, you know what I'm saying, performed in a lot of countries, Denmark, Paris, you know what I'm saying, a lot of fucking countries, Brazil, but...
High times, all sorts of times.
Right, but they'll put on, but since I didn't suck clit, you understand, for real suck clit, like... And at the same, and I didn't want to sell out. I didn't want to take anybody else's lyrics and have me spit it. I just wanted to keep my own integrity. No, they'll put on some other guy who already knows how to play the game, that knows how to get his fucking fake ass stripes.
Only thing that guy knows is how to put on a shirt that says he's freaking gay on it.
It's true.
G-A-Y. I couldn't believe that shit. Now, folks, I knew that one was gonna tickle your fancy. Top 10 list number deuce. Speaking of deuces, like freaking Mackle shit. Top 10 list number deuce. We have Michelle Obama saying she will not run for president. Well, that's good because, you know, Satan can run twice.
Listen, if there's ever going to be a black female president, it will be Michelle Obama.
Dear God, no.
Count my words. As soon as I heard that, I was like, "Oh, that's her campaign for the next 10 years."
I'd rather have Oprah be the first black president. At least everybody in America would get a free Prius.
You know what? I love Oprah to that extent of who she is. Like, she's a warm person. I think that actually they're related.
She's a Satanist.
I think Michelle.
They're all Satanists.
Yeah, whatever. I don't even care. Like, you know what? These people are out for self.
In their eyes, they got reptilian eyes. I've seen it.
They have connections and they're out for self. All right, that's what you mean. They have connections and they're out for self. So that's what people are. You know, they take on a reptilian slithering like.
Speaking of reptilians, now we're to top 10 list number 1, folks. Now, poll. Half of U.S. women have a very unfavorable view of the Trumpster. Are you one of those halves?
Well, you know, I think I have a realistic view of the Trumpster, and I don't dislike him as a person, so I don't really... everybody knows my view. I already know... I know who he is. What? I know he's not going to be president, so what kind of view am I having of him? That he's not presidential? That he's a sexist pig?
I think it's because every time...
Or is he a comedian?
Maybe the ladies know he's not packing, because every time he's taking a snapshot or something, he's always doing the teeny weeny little finger Masonic freaking sign, like he's like talking about his own little micro dick. So anyway, poll: half of U.S. women have a very unfavorable view of Trump. Real estate billionaire Donald Trump's coerced rhetoric has won him some fans, but there's at least one large group in America that's increasingly unimpressed.
So basically, the women to. They want to.
They're not impressed.
They actually want to see the size. They don't want to hear about how big his dick is. The females of the United States actually want to see what Donald Trump's penis looks like.
Didn't some guy already paint it? It's like as big as his freaking
No, I want the photograph.
The thumbnail.
I want that photograph. You see what I'm saying?
Dear
maybe
God.
if he shows off his dick, he'll get the gays and the straight.
Yeah, I don't think his wife getting naked is gonna do it for him. I mean, because they literally have put her all over the place. Mm-hmm. Now they want the Trump. They want the Trump. Folks.
I think they would want to see his penis. Like, what was that? What was that show we were seeing? That stupid cartoon.
Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah, they were actually penis heads. Jay and Silent Bob's. They
had a supervillain that was a giant dickhead whose superpower was to squirt nut on their opponents.
It was so vile.
Cockknocker was like lubing up dickhead.
That was on Netflix. That was on Netflix. You guys could go to Netflix and see that. It's so...
you and me are kind of like Jay and Silent Bob. We kind of got this Bill and Ted-esque dude and dudette kind of thing going on.
You think so, dude?
Whoa, no way.
Really, Holmes?
Oh my God, welcome to the Hall of Presidents.
Tubular. Gag me with a spoon.
Anyway,
oh my God.
Folks, we have covered so many things in the past hour and a half. But
what is this? Plane crashes in Russia. 55 aboard.
We'll get to that. But how about directing the good people listening to the ship, Bruce Montalvo, to set sail and go over to Etsy.com and check out our great specials there. If they love MBN Radio Network and they love the Bruce Montalvo Show, then you're going to love this, folks. Yeah,
we had to slow down a little bit in production because of so much tedium that we had to do with the IRS. But we had such beautiful things. Sorry, but we sold the St. Patty's Day gorgeous sterling silver 3-leaf clover cuff that we had that was from England. Originally, the antique sterling was about 115 years old, from Ireland, pretty sure, somewhere around there, maybe Wales. But it's such a beautiful motif, and it actually sold today for a few hundred. But no, it was really nice. It was a one-of-a-kind piece. Can't do it again. And I like making little works of art, and you can see our one-of-a-kind items at either of our Etsy stores. One of them, Antique Obsessions, has a lot of things on 50 off now. Actually, it's 60 off if you go use the coupon at the top of the page. But check it out, Etsy.com/shop/Antique Obsessions. And that's ANTIQUE, Antique Obsessions, with an S at the end. OBSESSIONS. You could just put those words together and stick it in Etsy. One of our listeners should come up with that and find our store. Or go to the other store, which is more tribal, warrior, like some just it's not as repurposed sterling, but it's more raw items like organic stones, gemstones, coppers, and sterling silver. And that's at Etsy.com, Conceptual Subculture. So it's Etsy.com/shop/Conceptual Subculture.
That's right, folks. Go there, help us out. And we got all sorts of sponsors. That's the main one. That's where you want to go to directly help us over at MBN. Now, I'm richer than Montana Max now, folks. So, I mean, we could use your help. We should use your help. But at the end of the day, I'm the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be in alternative media. And I don't need any of your fucking money. But if you want to look good, be sure to go to Etsy.com, Antique Obsessions, buy something for your lady because,
Yeah, we're purists.
How else are you going to get some love?
Listen, we're purists in radio. We're not trying to push a fear in terms of, like, with their fear-mongering, they're trying to push water or they're trying to push some natural product on you. I will tell you...
we tell it like it is.
Listen,
it's just the facts, just like Dragnet.
Yeah.
All right, we're the ones that got the baseballs bigger than the fucking World Series. All right, then we're at the plate.
Right.
Every Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern on TalkStream Live.
I don't need to sell you that health product. Okay, this is why the medical industry probably doesn't like people like me too much. See, I can tell you a lot of remedies. But I don't say that I didn't need to go to the hospital. So there's some things that you need the doctors for. And I'm not saying that, but there's a lot of things that you don't. And and a lot of things are very simple remedies that are really right around us. And even to avoid getting sick, I can help with that.
You know what we can't avoid here in New York, folks?
But I'm not trying to sell products to help, well, I'm not trying to scare you into submission and then sell you a product is what all these talk radios do, is they scare you into that it was going to eat themselves up. And
they become swap meets, literally. We are not. We are ahead of the curve.
That's what I want.
Now, folks, one thing you can't stop here in New York is getting stabbed. Now, stabbing surges are stumping NYPD. There's fear now among residents. Now, this could easily be solved. It's called open carry. It's called if some Black Lives Matter piece of shit thinks he can stab me, thinks he could stab me in public, thinks he could stab some old lady, then I'm going to whip out good old Dirty Harry and I'm going to put 2 to his chest. Now, you try telling these libtards here in New York that they're never going to get it. They're never going to get it. They're going to be slash victims all over Manhattan, and they're not going to get it. They're not going to understand that it's your constitutional right to defend yourself, not to have the police defend you. It's your right to defend you,
Yeah, but you can't tell it to a cop, and you can't tell it to the courts when you're in New York City and they catch you with a gun charge, okay? And I can tell you people that I know
That's why you carry lawfully. That's why you carry lawfully, and it's your right to carry it lawfully, okay? Otherwise, you're going to have these pig fuckers come at you, stabbing you with pencils, pens, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Now, this reminds me of what's going on in Sweden with this Arabic go eyeball eater influx that's going on over there. All these rapists.
George Lopez?
Exactly. All these Pakistani buddies going over there running wild on Sweden. Raping old ladies, gang raping and beating 75-year-old ladies. Okay, last time I checked, Sweden is kind of pussy too. They don't really believe in guns.
But wait a second, why do we believe?
That's the thing.
Do we believe
that old lady should have had a sawed-off shotgun, and she would have blown away every single one of those go eyeball-eating sons of bitches?
How do we know it really happened, Bruce? We are looking at.
We don't know. We are just reporting the news.
Listen, if I was going to make news and I was going to fake a news story, I would say, what would really get a lot of people upset? Just a little girl getting beaten? No, an old lady by an innocent old lady.
Well, let me tell you something. That must have been one hell of a makeup job, because they beat the snot out of this old lady. They beat 2 shades of shit out of this old lady, and they penetrated every single one of her orifices, even her freaking ears.
Do you know how many sexual fantasies these pervert women are going to have now? Oh, and then you see these sites now, handsome Arabic immigrants, okay? There's like all these fucking weird websites now. So if you were like a German Frau that like had a fetish for like maybe you were like a 60-year-old Frau and like was kind of heavy and ugly and thought like you can take care of a nice immigrant, sexy, swarthy, dark man, it's a penis that's so fuck, a lot of energy. Yeah. So I'm telling you, this is a fantasy. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, they're into all that German shit stuff.
Don't put it past these people. This is becoming a fetish, because the minute I thought that at the other corner of my eye, I saw that there were websites being set up for hot Arabic immigrant men in Europe. So this is what
websites have you been going to lately?
It's so low. I didn't go anywhere. It was like in fucking mainstream and shit. Something I caught.
Yeah,
it was like on CNN or something, like hot Arabic men. I looked at them; they were like all wearing like they were.
You know who else?
They didn't look anything like you.
You know who else has a fetish for men? Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck, that freaking effeminate, neurotic, Barney the Dinosaur pussy. Glenn Beck says if Cruz isn't elected, there will be blood on your hands. Let me tell you something, Esse. I would love to get your blood on my hands, Glenn Beck, you neurotic piece of shit. You're such a fucking pussy. The funniest thing you ever did was expose Bill Hicks for being a cocknobber.
Yeah, that was great.
That's the funniest thing you ever did. Other than that, Glenn Beck, Hen Peck, I shouldn't even be saying your fruity fucking name on my great great radio show. You are a piece of shit. I would love to get my freaking fists covered in your blood, Glenn Beck.
Listen, his name
you
is.
believe that he's promoting
Goring.
that freaking fruit, Ted Cruz?
Oh, whatever.
The freaking gay pink
flamingos. What else do you expect from a pink
of the same feather?
Of course.
Flock together.
He probably got his dick sucked by Ted.
Dear God.
Okay, and Ted probably sucked Glenn's penis off so good. He was like,
he's got those thin little bird lips.
Are you kidding me? Those boys are. Well, do you see the way Sean Hannity was right there?
Yo, Sean Hannity put his microphone by his dick.
Penis.
Like he was like, hey, Ted Cruz, come get it. Come and get it. Come and get it.
That's their, like, circle jerk club. What are you talking about? So, Henpeck, is just picking up his buddies. He's just sitting back with his
Didn't this guy say he was going to stab Donald Trump? What are you going to stab him with? Your cock? You freaking fanook?
His pen.
Oh, my God.
Excuse me. That's Henpeck,
I can't believe this guy, Henpeck. Seriously. Someone,
they get away with it. They're pushing their boundaries.
Please just dot this guy's freaking eyes, alright? Cross his eyes out. Just take him out, please. God, what are you waiting for? No. Letting people like Henpeck and Kanye West walk this earth. Just please show me that you're alive and get rid of these guys. They
probably hang out together. Actually, probably you think Kanye would get his dick sucked by Henpeck?
Oh my God, you are on some gay homoerotic trip here, folks. This is a family show.
Yeah, late at night, if they were my kids,
this is a family show. This is a family show. I'm gonna keep saying this is a family show. Now, folks, Domino's, the shittiest pizza known to mankind. Apparently, they're gonna start delivering this crappy pizza with robots.
Ew! So you can have GMO drone food?
That's right, delivered to you by Terminator, who will shoot you if you don't get the tab right.
I don't think they're going to bring you a drone without having your credit card already programmed, like next to your Uber.
Or they'll drop a fucking directed energy weapon projectile if you don't get the tab right. It's $13.50. Oh, I only got $12.95, bro.
Bruce, you don't need lasers. What I try to tell you is that you don't need lasers. Okay, the towers were done with cold fusion. You got nuclear water coming through your pipes. You don't need lasers from space.
Well, I know some type of high-level, just explosive, like tritium, military grade, was probably used on the beams to bring those towers down to destabilize the base. That's for sure. Okay. That's where the mini
It's in the cold fusion process. It's the chemical process. Well,
some argue that you would have been blinded by the light, like
it wasn't that kind of bomb. It was a cold fusion bomb. It wasn't a nuclear explosion. It wasn't a normal nuke. It wasn't an atom bomb. It was a cold fusion bomb. That's the difference. Similar. That's why you got the mushroom cloud, but not with the same effects. You won't get the radiation flashback. You won't get all that shit that you get from an H-bomb.
Now that's scary technology, folks. But
cold fusion.
I got an article right here in front of me. 7 scariest weapons Russia is developing right now. This is from last year in the Business Insider. Now, again, Russia, as we've explained on this show, is part of the Boys Club. They're part of the freaking club, folks. Part of the Dr. Strangelove Club. Okay? So we have here Russian military is developing nuclear submarines, hypersonic missiles, stealthy heavy-lift strategic bombers, off-switch for enemy communications and weapons guidance, so they can disrupt, some type of attack now with these type of EMP switches, off-switches, new air defense missiles.
You know what an EMP
lasers.
Is? You know what an EMP is?
Russia is developing, along with China, some of the best lasers.
You know what an EMP is for the third time?
And aircraft carriers.
Excuse me, for the fourth time, do you know what an EMP is? Is me getting irritated every second by the Amber Alerts, or these alerts that they give us on our phone. That's a freaking... really, I'm telling you, what the noises that they stick on your freaking phones to try to interrupt your brain waves. Like, excuse me, that's my time. I don't have the TV on, motherfucker. Why are you fucking pop it in my phone. You know, like why they? To me, that's an attack. So those are mini attacks. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it seems to me that Russia has a lot of tools to attack the American people, and Putin is a brilliant strategist. He's actually pulling out strategically, incrementally pulling out of Syria. Now, again, why is Putin doing this? Okay, he's doing this to make the Americans look like the aggressors on the worldwide stage.
Oh, wow.
It seems to me that that is the geopolitical agenda behind Putin. I mean, whoever is behind Putin is running Putin very well. I mean...
Brzezinski, you mean?
Whoever it may be.
Right,
I don't know. It kind of looks like that'd be that nigga's dad or something.
So that's what's going on.
But here's the thing. They have made America and Russia turn into polar opposites of themselves in this
fake fight.
Weird manufactured WWE Dr. Strangelove fight between the Russians and the Americans. I mean, look at the space program, folks.
They're all working together.
We're all working with these guys now. The space program wouldn't be if we didn't have Russia in our corners. So what's with this Cold War? We're still fighting the commies, McCarthyism type bullshit. I really don't buy it.
We need a boogeyman,
I
Bruce.
don't buy it.
It's the whole...
Russia's become one hell of a boogeyman.
Yep.
But you know what? With all the weapons that I mentioned that they have now, they still fail in comparison to what the Americans, to what the United States of America has. We're still number one. Okay, we'll still kick their ass.
We're over
That's
there.
why I don't believe that Russia could ever be a threat against the United States. There is no more threat against the United States.
Let me tell you,
there is no more threat.
Let me tell you something, Bruce.
That's why we have to manufacture these enemies like ISIS.
If you had to put, suppose we were back in like the 1500s, right? When people, 1700s, people still went to war man to man. You put our men physically up against the Russians, they're gonna kick the shit out of us. I don't give a fuck what you say. They're notoriously will kick the shit out of.
Did you see what they did in Stalingrad?
Yeah.
I mean, those guys, those guys literally washed their balls with ice water. The Russian is one of the toughest men. Did you see what Ivan Drago did to Rocky? I mean, did you see what he did to Rocky's friend Apollo Creed? He killed Apollo.
That's right.
He killed Apollo in the ring. I mean, they didn't add that in the script just for kicks, folks. I mean, these are steroid juicing, freaking commie bastards over there.
They're very mechanical. Like the Germans learn from the Russians. The Russians are into repetitions. The Germans learn that from Russian. In order to be an expert and a master.
Just look at Donald Trump when he went to that HBO fight with Gennady Golovkin, fought that one Justin Bieber looking motherfucker, Dave Lemieux. That was a perfect example of when the pretty boy German goes up against the machine of a Russian. Who wins 100% of the time? It's the Russian. That's why Trump was backstage greeting Triple Masonic G, the boxer, who destroyed that little German freaking penny waist, Dave Lemieux.
What about that chick who kicked the shit out of Roto-Rooter Ronda Rousey?
She's probably a good
She looked Russian. She looked Russian.
Oh, Russian.
She looked Russian.
Actually, she did. You're right. Again, another case of the Russian beating the snot out of the Frau.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what it looked like. I'm telling you, she looked like her fighting was like the Russians that I used to box with around, the trainers and shit at Gleason's. But yeah, they're very, very into repetition, and they will excel and master anything because they know the power of mastering a craft. And the only way you can master a craft is by repeating it over and over and over and over and over again until you're the expert. Okay, then you are the expert at the top of the top, and you can not be topped. Do you understand this?
We understand this very well. And, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to help the Bruce Montalvo Show out, it's that time. It's selfish plug time. There's nothing selfish at all, folks. I'm looking after you. Okay, if you want to make sure that no Syrian refugees break into your home and rape your granny, be sure to visit my good friends over at espymall.com. That's espymall.com. And use coupon code BruceNY where you'll save 10% on the best in CCTV surveillance systems. Also, if you want to be an investigative journalist, if there's a story that you want to cover, that you want to break, and you want to do it incognito, be sure to go to espymall.com and check out all the top-of-the-line spy pens and spy gear. I mean, literally stuff that Bond himself in the movies would have. That's espymall.com. Bruce NY, save 10%.
Yeah, you could use, Bruce, like if I was going to court and they tell you can't have any recording devices, that would be like a perfect thing to have. Because even going through the security, they don't check that stuff.
All right, if you want to do a documentary film, and like myself, who is obsessed with Illuminati symbology and modern architecture.
The guards who stopped you the last time.
That's right. I'd be able to catch all the owls of Athena's on the walls, all the swastikas these Nazi Illuminatists put all over their walls and their buildings and their courthouses.
If you had a cleaning
catch
lady.
It all of it.
And if you had a cleaning lady, for example, and you were like, had money like that, you know, you wanted to watch, make sure that nothing was stolen. You could have cameras around.
Oh, yeah, if you want to make sure the cleaning lady ain't beating the shit out of your kid when you're not there, you buy a big, giant, stuffed freaking bear and put a camera in his ass, and, you know, he'll watch over your freaking kids while you're not there.
Yeah, you'll make sure.
Again, that's espymall.com, coupon code BruceNY. Now, Jai, you got a article right here in front of you, some late breaking news. Apparently there was a plane crash in Russia.
Yeah,
55 aboard, 55 passengers are being reported dead. This is late breaking right now.
737 jet crashed as it landed on the Rostov-on-Don airport in southern Russia. The country's southern regional emergency center said on Saturday, all people on board have died. I guess it was a small plane, so it was coming from Dubai. You know, so it was. I guess it was a business plane. A Boeing airline with 55 people is a small private jet. That was like a private.
Now, I wonder what insiders were on that plane that they wanted to snuff out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like Dubai. You got to have mad fucking dough, and they were going to some who knows where. But coming from Dubai on that kind of a small Boeing was not. They paid. They're high rollers for sure.
Right. Well, that's definitely
They didn't
tragic.
like their business deal that they were trying to make, probably. They were like, oh, fuck these... We're going to
keep up with this story as it develops. If anything new develops, be sure to go to exposednewsalternative.wordpress.com, and we might have it on there, we might not, but we're breaking it to you, late breaking. Russian passenger jet with 55 on board.
They don't give you any
crashes
details.
In Russia.
So yeah, they're probably
of course, no details in the lamestream media.
But just by piecing the facts together, from Dubai to Russia, they have money. All right, and now it's a small jet. The little bit of information you can extract is that they were high rollers. They were probably from Belgrade or some place that I know, like. Belarus, maybe. Yeah, they're probably like really high-rolling people, but shitty people. They were pissing people off in Dubai.
Belarus, that's the same place where Julian Assange tried to restrict their internet freedom of speech.
The gangsters over there.
I'm spitting right in your face, all you stupid truthers that believe in these alternative media idols like your Snowden and your Assange. You know what I do with them? They're toilet paper.
Toilet paper to
They're
Bruce.
toilet paper, folks. They're toilet paper.
Snowden is a cousin of Don Imus or something, right?
Yeah, well, they're all a bunch of leaving snots. Now, 55 on board died in Russia. Well, I guess today's a good day for death, so the ONI late night freaking Chupacabra talk is going to be very excited when they mention all these people that are just falling like flies. Cubans were rescued at sea off Florida. 9 others died. Listen to me. People died today. Right?
Who am I?
People are dying everywhere.
Who am I?
Who am I? And I'm the same guy telling you that all the BLT sandwiches, all those LGBTs are going to elect the first satanic witch, Hillary, who is going to trump the Trump. That's right. He's going to trump the Trump, folks. we seriously, we got to go over to...
what the fuck?
We got to go over to that Trump Tower so I can punch that guy in the face.
Wait a second. I have breaking news from... Maybe it's not totally breaking. It was earlier today, but speaking of...
I see Expose on there.
Yeah, and it's something that's very hot. Right now you're talking about satanic witches, and her cousin Madonna exposes fans' breast on stage during concert.
Oh, man, she got that freaking randy with it that she pulled some chick's tits out on stage?
Wow.
Look, they got a little Japanese kimono theme going on.
Well, maybe if Hillary becomes president, she can release the ban on Burmese goods on Myanmar, because it's ridiculous. Okay,
they got a lot of good stones.
Yeah. I think it's just outrageous, and you should just lift those bans and start getting ready to lift those trade agreements. That I don't know why. I know you're trying to keep those mines on lockdown, but it's too bad, and it's too late, and there's too many people getting screwed up, and nobody cares anyway. Nobody knows anything about gemstones in this country, so just fucking open up those mines, open up our import-export, and just stop limiting our own trade agreements, because they have the prettiest stones.
That's right. Otherwise, people are going to be keystering those rubies all the way to America.
Yeah, and I don't think you want somebody.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't think that, like, Hillary wants her rings that are from Burma, like, found that her stones were up somebody's booty hole. So
yeah, they're probably up George Lopez's booty hole, because
one of Lopez's cousins,
fake Bangladeshis that try to act Chicano. They love to keister things all the time. Yeah,
they're running to Thailand and Nepal with all of their rubies that they can grab, and then exporting it there. Just open it up. Just open it up with Burma, Myanmar already. Just agree with them already. Let them do better. Of course they're commies, but so what? The fuck? You do business with every other goddamn commie nation, China and shit. What the fuck's the difference?
That's right. Now we got some paranormal news, folks. Now apparently, I didn't know this. I mean, everybody knows about Area 51, right? And that little alien inn, right? Well, apparently, there's Area 6, and this is a place where they test aircraft, exotic drone aircraft, probably reverse-engineered technology, Nazi technology, that they got from the trickster gods, folks. All right, who knows? Whatever Raytheon and Lockheed Martin, the latest toys that they're coming up with, okay, apparently they give them a test run over an Area 6, and this is northwest of Vegas, 80 miles northwest of Vegas. We heard our favorite fat ass that loves to guzzle Baconators, Wendy's Baconators, mention this, and it just intrigued me. Area 6, you ever heard of anything like that? I mean, it's incredible. How many freaking bases?
What else did you hear from Himmler's child?
How many freaking bases do these Nazis have?
Yeah, well, if that's because you listen to Himmler's grandson, okay, and that's why he knows that, and that's why he found out. You got to listen, and they'll throw it to you, and the Nazis will tell you what the hell's going on. But you need to filter through 90% of their kook, and they are the real kooks, because they'll cloud real information.
Oh yeah, they'll tell you it's some green little spaceman, while it's their Nazi technology that they reverse engineered from Lord knows what. I mean, I'm not knocking human ingenuity, folks, but more than likely, it's man-made. Whatever you see here is man-made. The government is at least 50 years ahead in technology, and it's all Nazi freaking technology.
Yeah.
It's all and Nazi Russian, reverse engineered technology. Russian.
So they were stealing from each other.
They're at the forefront. Again, if you don't know this, the Russians were in charge of HARP. This goes back to 1991.
Well, it came from Tesla.
I got some
Tesla
revelation.
Was Russian.
Exactly.
Check.
I got some revelation of the method for you right here. The Russian government pretty much took over HARP. But if you remember the Super NES video game, which many of you freaking new millennials, I don't know what the hell they call you idiots. None of you remember the things that we true millennials had to go through. I mean, the Nintendo having to, blow on the Nintendo game in order for it to work. Anyway, folks, there was this game, Star Fox, that pretty much depicted HARP. They were controlling the weather. It was a video game where you're flying with a brigade. It's like Top Gun, but like space Top Gun with a fox and a frog and a crew of them flying throughout space. They actually had to endure a planet whose weather was being controlled. Now, this game came out around 1991, around the same time when the Russians basically passed the HAARP torch down to the Americans because they couldn't afford to continue with the studies anymore.
Well, the first place HAARP was used was in Russia for entertainment purposes. They used it on a Paul McCartney concert in Russia, in Moscow, and they made sure, I think, that it didn't rain. That's what it was used for, a certain area that it was like moderately.
So it was like the anti-Rain Man. Instead of making it rain, they didn't make it rain.
Right, and then they used HAARP and HAARP technology with part chemicals. They used aluminum and barium. So they was it New Year's Eve one night when Rihanna was singing about snow, and it was exactly at 12:01, exactly that second it started to snow on stage in Central Park. It was so fucking choreographed. It was down to the microsecond, okay, when the snow started to fall. I was like, oh my God, they have it so scientifically programmed. They can definitely isolate this technology, and they can use it for whenever they feel they need to. They want to create a snowstorm that's really high. They want to give the illusion of global warming for a few years. They'll keep sprinkling. So this is also weakening your immune system. Is this weakening, the barium? If you have epilepsy, you might have more activity. And you have to watch what you eat even more so. So some people, you don't realize it, but ordinarily, if you were having a normal environment, you would be fine. But now that you're getting hit by the weather, the air, the food, the water, your immune systems get very weak. They weaken faster. So you have to do a lot of different things to keep your immune system high. Protect yourself with as much vitamins and minerals as you can. And I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm just going to tell you that you should just do as many good things for yourself. I mean, you can look up herbs and
that's right.
Fruits and vegetables and
when I wake up,
powdered drinks.
When I wake up, how many eggs do I drink like Sylvester Stallone? I mean, you get mad because I'll take a whole carton of eggs, like 12 of them, and I'll put them in a cup, and I'll drink them all like I'm Sylvester Stallone. I mean, I take great care of my body. Mm-hmm. I mean, literally, I should be on the cover of Men's Health because I mean, I look good. I look damn good. All right, and it's all because of my sweetheart over here, Ja, and my egg protein shake. That's right, folks. Now we're coming to the end of the show. Now there's a very inspiring goat eyeball eater story I want to share with you. Apparently, a crew of flight attendants, pilots, Arabic women. They landed an airliner in Jeddah. I believe it's someplace controlled by those damn
Saudi
Wahhabi sons of bitches that should be obliterated from the face of the planet. Literally, if that's my neocon moment, I would vote for war against Saudi Arabia. Anyway, these ladies landed a plane in this country where they're not even allowed to drive a car. Now, I think this is great. I'm all for women's rights, and that's a right they should have. Those freaking pubic, hair-faced, goat eyeball eaters should know their role and shut their mouths, because I'd love to see one of those caliphate-loving sons of bitches land a plane like those women did.
Right. In Israel, a lot of women they're free. They're just as tough as the men there. The women, they have guns
they put them right in the IDF. They kick ass.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
Take names.
And that's the problem I have with Israel too. It's not that it's not a beautiful place to live, and it's a Western
They're very
country.
militaristic.
I wouldn't want to have you once you're there. Even though there's a lot of people that are refugees. Let me tell you, Israel absorbs a lot of Jews. Jews are hated all around the world. I don't give a fuck what you Jew haters think about Israel. They still absorb Jews from Yemen, where they're not wanted. Morocco, where they're not wanted. Iraq, where they were not wanted. In Iran, where the Jews are not wanted. And all around the world, in Russia, where they're not wanted. Okay? And they still get shit kicked everywhere. It's the only country in the world that will absorb them just because of their their heritage. And it's unfortunate that it has to be so, but it's not the Jews' fault. The Jews always wanted to be integrated and assimilated in other countries. As you noted, in World War II, they didn't even believe the Germans were kicking their ass. It took them a lot of smacking in the face for years and years to even fucking believe that they would be being killed because
Nazis,
they were being Jews.
These new Nazis that are sponsored by the CIA with this Egyptian deity name, ISIS, that are CIA sponsored, they're the ones engineering this new Holocaust in the Middle East, and it's all American sponsored. It's sponsored by you, who's sitting there shopping at Walmart. Okay, you fat freaking idiot apathetic Americans are helping for the rape of these Yazidis and Iraqis, and yes, even the Mithra worshippers. I will stand up for you because you're all just a bunch of fools that don't see the big picture. And even if I have 1,000 shows telling you the truth, you still won't get it. Alright, folks. Anyway, unfortunately, we're out of time.
Shabbat shalom.
We're out of time. I'm about to put a billboard out to change things. Okay, because there's a giant billboard out there. A giant eyeball in the sky. A new drone billboard. Well, I'm going to put a big billboard out that says Bruce Montalvo for President in 2016. I'm going to change things, folks. Right? What do you think? You think I should run for president?
No. I would vote for Michelle before I vote for your ass.
Okay, that's it. You're fired. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bruce Montalvo Show with the hottest co-host.
I don't want you up in fucking president.
The hottest co-host with the mo-host, Jaja, joining me every Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. You're listening to the phenomenal, the sensational, the beautiful Bruce and Jaja, that's right. And it's like Beauty and the Beast. If anybody calls you a beast, I'll kill them. Thank you for listening. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Peace.